Hi, I want to talk to you about 8 common myths about heat pumps, and particularly air source heat pumps. One of them is that heat pumps can't heat older buildings. Well, this is simply not true. If you size the heat pump correctly and if you size radiators correctly, then you can heat any building that can be heated with a gas boiler. The other one is that you can't really heat a building that is poorly insulated, and the bills will be very high. Well, of course, it doesn't matter what heat source you use. If you don't insulate it at all, the bills are obviously going to go higher. So clearly it makes sense to insulate, but that doesn't stop you using a heat pump. And actually, if you're replacing an old 70% efficient gas boiler with a modern heat pump, and you just do modest levels of insulation, your heating bills are probably going to be very similar. The other one is that you need underfloor heating to make a heat pump work. Well, you don't. Typically, you will need to upgrade some radiators if they're very old ones. But often what happens is you just make them a little fatter. You don't have to change the profile of those that you need to upgrade. And it may be that the flow temperature for the heat pump is slightly higher than you would have if you had underfloor heating. So the other myth is that it can't heat in the depths of winter. Again, that's not true. Heat pumps will operate down to -20 or even lower. They're very popular in Scandinavia. They work fine. They heat hoses in Scandinavia. There's no reason they won't heat homes in the UK. Huge radiators, I've covered that one, but that's one that I just need to stress that it's not true. The profile can stay the same. Sometimes you'll go from a double to a triple, or from a single to a double radiator with the fins in between. But that doesn't mean you can't do it. But it is very important that whoever is doing a professional assessment on a house does a proper sizing of the radiators for each room to make sure that they are able to heat that room. Some people suggest you can't have a hot bath. Well, modern building regulations say that the exit temperature from a hot tap should be no more than 48 degrees, and heat pumps are more than capable of heating them to that temperature. The other one is that people say, well, ground source heat pumps are fine, but not air source heat pumps. Well, this is not true. It may have been true 20 years ago, but these days actually the difference in their performance is relatively modest, and it will cost you twice as much to do a ground source heat pump as an air source heat pump, and yet the increase in efficiency doesn't really warrant, in many cases, that additional expenditure. And finally, people say the air source heat pumps are noisy. Well, they're no more noisy than a microwave, and actually if the birds are singing, you'll really struggle to hear the air source heat pump. The modern ones are very, very quiet, in fact. And so I'll just sort of summarize them. We have them here, and will be on our website as well.